I think the Digimon Tamers ending might have been too dark. In a recent video, we talked about Digimon's first ending, the finale to Adventure 1999. It was a heartbreaking but beautiful farewell, a lesson in letting go that taught its young audience the importance of saying goodbye. When Tamers came around, it took Digimon and made everything more intense. Bigger battles, real stakes, like with the tragic fate of Leomon, digital monsters devouring the data of their enemies, whatever horrors Jerry went through. So I guess it only makes sense that if the adventure ending was sad, and Tamers dialed everything up a notch, the Tamers ending would be devastating. Digimon Tamers' final act saw the D-Reaper, a man-made digital lifeform designed to erase excess Digimon, attacking a real-world Shinjuku. The program takes a human hostage, Jerry, one of the season's Tamers who lost her Leomon earlier in the story. Studying Jerry's grief over the death of both her Digimon and also her mother, the D-Reaper comes to believe that humans need to be deleted too, not just Digimon. The D-Reaper determines that humans have this innate desire to harm others deep inside them, that they are beyond redemption. It's all very Evangelion, from the color palette to the deep dive into human nature. Already it is far darker than anything we're getting in the first two series of Digimon, and almost certainly more twisted than anything else on the Fox Kids Saturday morning cartoon lineup from that time. And this is just the setup for the finale. In our two-part ending, the mega-level biomerged heroes enter the D-Reaper's dimension in an attempt to rescue Jerry and stop the rogue program. Near the end of their battle, Terriermon and Henry's biomerged fusion form, Mega Gargamon, use a program the adults installed into Terriermon to revert the D-Reaper to a lesser state of being. They turn the D-Reaper into a primitive form that can still be controlled, or at least that is weak enough to be sent back to the digital world without causing the immediate destruction of both worlds. And this program works. The D-Reaper is depowered and banished to the digital world. Our team of Tamers and their Digimon return to sunny Shinjuku. Jerry is there. Impmon is here with the two human partners he'd been running from all season. Jerry tells Impmon she doesn't want to hate him anymore, offering him forgiveness for murdering Leomon. Redemption arc complete. Happily ever after for all our Tamers, right? Right? Well, you know that program Henry's dad installed into Terriermon to depower and banish the D-Reaper? Turns out this man lied to his child. That program did not target just the D-Reaper. It targets all known digital life forms, including our Digimon friends. Suddenly, it reverts Gyomon, Terriermon, Renamon, and the others to their baby forms before ejecting them from the human world. The viewer is forced to sit there and watch baby Digimon be ripped from the arms of Takato, Rika, and the other Tamers. In the span of about 1 minute, these kids go from thinking they had their happy ever after to having their Digimon taken from them with no guarantee that they'll ever get a chance to reunite. And while sending the Digimon away is not necessarily them dying or being deleted, we are sending them to the same place we sent the D-Reaper, the cosmic horror that was about to destroy everything. There's something deeply unsettling about the fact that the D-Reaper was not fully defeated, but exiled to a place where it may one day wreak havoc again. The human adults with their Juggernaut program, they didn't fix the problem, they're saying, that's not our problem. And with the kids' farewell here, at least in Adventure, each pair had a few hours to say goodbye, spending that precious time however they chose. Watching this Tamer scene as an adult, I found the kids' reactions and their inability to understand or accept the reality of the situation just devastating. I know we sometimes say the difference between Pokemon and Digimon is that Pokemon are like imaginary pets, while Digimon are like imaginary friends, and I generally agree with that, but in these final few minutes, the depowered, helpless Digimon are really like pets. These are children being forced to say goodbye to the family dog. The dad has made the difficult decision to put down the pet, something that neither the children or the pet can fully understand. There's an awful sense of betrayal here as Henry's father explains why he had to lie to his son and his friends to save them and the world. As an adult, I also kind of feel for Henry's dad, Jiang Yu. He's burdened with the realities of adulthood. The kids are allowed to be dreamers, while he has to commit an unforgivable act to save everyone. Without the Juggernaut program, we had no other plan to stop the D-Reaper from destroying both worlds, both species. Yes, it was awesome seeing Sakuyamon and Justimon, Gallantmon, and Mega Gargamon face off against Mother D-Reaper, but I have to admit we saw no indication that their plan to kick its butt would have actually worked. Henry is now left traumatized, having to reckon with the fact his own father is responsible for ripping his friend away, and Jian Yu must carry a shame for the rest of his life, knowing he has created permanent scars on his children, one who is too young to understand, and another who knows exactly what his father did. Now, I want to touch on the Japanese and English dub differences. Usually you hear stories about how the Japanese version of anime was darker and how North American TV regulation or bad localization made the English version softer. But what if I told you the English dub makes this ending even more twisted? In Japanese, the exchange goes something like this. Henry, Dad, you knew this would happen, but you still... Jianyu, I'm truly sorry. I've done something I can never atone for. However, this was the only way to save the world. He stops talking there, the Digimon say their goodbyes. When they're gone, Henry, who is crying, looks at his dad, and with this unsettling smile, shakes his head from left to right as if to say no. Jianyu then drops to his knees, sobbing. You could interpret this in a couple ways, many of which leave some space for hope and optimism. Maybe Henry shaking no is in response to Jianyu saying that he can never atone for what he's done, suggesting Henry sees a possibility for redemption that his dad did not think was there. Jianyu falling to his knees could be him overwhelmed with emotions. Guilt, of course, but also in amazement at his son's emotional maturity, shocked at the idea his son might not despise him, at least not forever. The combination of tears, the smile, and the head shake no are open to interpretation. It's great writing and directing in my opinion. But in the dub, a few added lines make this exchange way less open to interpretation and far more tragic. Here's how it goes in English. Henry, you knew, didn't you? You knew this would happen when you scanned Terriermon. Jianyu, I had no other choice. The fate of the world was at stake. I couldn't let everything and everyone we love be destroyed, Henry. Then the scene plays out the same way with the baby Digimon being torn from the arms of their partners. Then we get an added line of dialogue. The dub makes Henry's dad say the following, quote, I know it hurts now, son, but in time it'll get better. You'll see. In response to that, Henry stares at him blankly, tears running down his face. He smiles and shakes his head to say no. Jianyu falls to the ground, weeping, and says, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Having Henry's tears, the smile, and the headshake be a response to in time it'll get better is so much darker than him doing this with no dialogue on either side. With the added line of it'll get better, causing Henry to smile and shake his head no, it's more like, Dad, you just messed me up for life and you're dead to me. It's like Jianyu saved his child and the world, but at the cost of breaking his son. The Tamers finale exposes the powerlessness of kids in society. Yes, we saw Takato and the others grow. We saw Rika lend her strength to Ryo for the greater good. We punched a cosmic horror, but at the end of the day, despite all that growth, the adults still took the kids' pets away, still took control of the situation and left them out of the decision-making process. You want to be the biggest dreamer, but you also feel really small. It's not all dire. We get a little time skip and follow Takato's perspective as he returns to normal daily life. He's back at school almost as if nothing ever happened with Guilmon and the others. Still, he promised his Digimon that they'd see each other again just as Guilmon was being pulled away, so Takato sometimes visits the little spot in Shinjuku Park where he used to hide Guilmon, and to his surprise, he finds this little spark, a little overlap between the human and digital worlds, suggesting the connection is still there. Takato's face lights up as we get the sense that maybe he will see Guilmon sooner than later, whether that's Takato going to the digital world or Guilmon coming to him. We also have the Runaway Locomon movie, which appears to be set after the events of the series, given Jerry and Impmon are cool, but it does not attempt to explain how the Digimon returned to the human world. As such, it's arguably non-canon. The early Digimon adventure movies appeared to always be canon, but then stories like Hurricane Touchdown and Runaway Locomon struggled to slot into their series timelines quite so elegantly. So returning to the official finale, the Tamers ending is a tough pill to swallow. Its darkness suits the intensity of the season. We knew from episode 1 that Tamers was going to be a more intense series, but the way Digimon were ripped from the kids' hands, the way Jianyu sacrificed his relationship with his kids for the greater good, the way victory and agency were taken away from the kids, it hurts. And that English dub insisting that Henry won't be forgiving his father, portraying this kid as permanently scarred, it's messed up. I can't say a happy ending would have been better though. A season as intense and mature as Digimon Tamers deserved an intense and mature conclusion. Do you remember how you felt watching this finale as a kid? Did you watch it later in life? Let me know your thoughts on the Tamers finale by leaving a comment. What did I miss? If you haven't already, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. I've been really bad about asking, and I know these days the algorithm maybe just shows you my stuff and you don't need to subscribe, but doing so majorly helps the channel grow. We're almost at 60K subscribers and I'd love to one day hit 100,000. If you want more from me, I've got a free SirStack kind of newsletter blog thing where I share more thoughts on my video topics. after posting the videos. I'm also on Blue Sky, and I have a self-published novel, Dot Monster Revolution, that you can get on Kindle, Kobo, or signed physical copies through ANC Games. It's inspired by Digimon, Monster Rancher, and you can check out a free sample of me reading the first chapter on my second channel. I'll link to all of that stuff below. Consider picking it up if you want to support me. Thanks so much. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.